Live from under the water tower in Austin, Texas, it's the monthly drone show that your mom likes to watch while she sits by the phone waiting for you to call. It's First Friday! Interesting guests, cool drone technology, Dr. Pepper, giveaways, and the fifth best looking host on a YouTube drone channel not named Ken. Give it up for Kelly Shores. Now, sit back, relax, and crack yourself a cold one because the show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Kelly!
Ho, 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 ho. Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. That introduction makes me smile. And I was actually watching Chris Rollins in the green room. He knows I can see him, but he can't see me. And I was watching him smile, and I was like, oh, he must have seen that part. So, yeah, we got Chris Rollins on tonight, so I'm super stoked about that. It's been a little while. Chris and I met years ago, and he came up to Austin, and we've done a couple of things together. He was a speaker at Spin Up, and he's blowing up his channel right now with all kinds of cool stuff that he's doing. But before we get to Chris Rollins, because we're going to talk a lot to him, I'm counting on him to carry the show tonight, honestly, no pressure. But I just want to say hi to Joe Blaylock, to my brother Brad from Virginia, to Mike Miller, to Chris Hope in the house, Artco Drone Solutions in the house, Itchy Sack FPV. I have to say that's one of my favorite FPV names. BMAX Aerial Visuals, Mantis09. Did I mention Joe Blaylock? I'm going to mention him twice because he gave me a $19.99 super chat because he's on his phone. And normally he does 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got $7 extra so I'm really happy. Thank you. It all goes to a great cause. I gotta pay Mr. Chris Waters over here. So let's give a royal clap to Chris Waters, by the way, because he is making all this happen behind the scenes. Say hi to Flying Flynn Media, Uncle Bill's Toys. Who else do we got in here? We got Steve Carpenter. We got Chris Hope. I already said. Akira Show. Akira Show. You know what I said? Akira Show. All right, good. Akira Show. Buckeye Drones. TJ Giggles. I mean, we got a great crew in here tonight. So thank you guys. Michael Blade, all the way from Missouri. Oh no, that's Michael Belshie. Michael Blade. Where are you from, Michael Blade? Pop that in there. I expected Chris to know, but
New England somewhere.
New England. But yeah, and my brother my brother Michael Belshie up there in Missouri. That's BAM Drones. Copper State Aerial Photography. Another Mike. Good to see you. John K in the house. Thank you guys all for joining tonight. It is August 4th, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for summer to be done. It is so bloody hot here in Texas right now. We just moved into a new office, so that's what this is all about. This isn't the permanent setup. It was just one corner of the office that doesn't have junk all over it that we could find to do the stream tonight. We got the cable, the internet hooked up yesterday, so it's working. It's a great space, and I hope anybody who comes to Spin Up, if you guys want to come see the studio, I'll bring you over here. You can check it out. It is a very cool space. It's twice as big as where I was before, but this is my third space for my business. Actually, this is my fifth space for my business, my third in the most recent couple of years, and this is not where we did Spin Up from in 2020 when COVID was happening, but it is where we did the space next door is where we did the live stream until just recently. And I'm also wondering if we have to redo the intro because it's not the same door. Will people notice? I don't know. If you notice, let me know. Anyway, I also want to say hi to Captain Ray Kelly. I saw him just come on. Thanks for being here, Captain Ray. Always good to see you. We're going to do a couple of things tonight. We're going to do the hidden hashtag contest a little later. We're going to do the caption contest. Chris apparently found some really awful photo of me and is having people caption it. I'm always up for that sort of thing. We're going to have Subscriber of the Month. We got 2 Minutes of Hope. We got an interesting one tonight. It's a little different take on 2 Minutes of Hope. I like it. And then, of course, the main show, the reason we have all 10 of you here tonight. Maybe it's more than that. I don't know. I'm not looking at the stats. But whoever's joined tonight, you're in for a treat, because if you don't already know Chris Rollins, you're going to go over and hit the subscribe button, because he is one cool dude. He is somebody who races cars. He builds things. He crashes things. He crashes things. He crashes things. He fixes things. He builds things. And he's just always been really great to the drone community and to me. So let's bring in Chris Rollins, all the way from Tyler, Texas, I believe. What's up,
Hey, man.
Hey, good to see you.
I love that intro so much.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
We did that about 3 months ago, before it got so hot. And I have to say, that was with the Avata. It took about 4 takes, and the biggest problem we had was cars pulling in front of the, like in the parking lot, there'd be like a FedEx truck going through or something at the wrong time. But otherwise, Chris flew that thing, and he did a great job.
And you got the Ken Heron.
True.
To land that whole thing.
Oh, Ken Heron voices
that
all
was
my
great.
stuff. He voices all my stuff. As a matter of fact, if you call my number and you get my voicemail, it's actually Ken Heron. Is
it really?
No, but
I was gonna say I'll stop texting you and I'll just call you.
Just call.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate Ken Heron. He's got the voice for that, exactly for that sort of thing. When I was coming up with the idea and writing the script, I was thinking of Ken Heron's voice, and he nailed it. So.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Well, awesome. Well, man, so I think the last time, you and I talked a couple of weeks ago, but obviously, you've got a kid now. That's fairly new in your life, right? Two kids.
Two kids now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
in last time I saw you in person, 2020 probably.
Yeah.
I had just had one.
Right. Okay.
And then my second one is going to be 2 in November. So
wow, you're getting into the fun time. You're getting into the fun age.
It is getting a lot of fun.
By the way.
Here, I'll just.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's like when they start being able to talk. Obviously, when they start being able to like make those funny expressions. My kids are now, and you've met Tate a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's going off to college. Like, this is his freshman year of college. I know. And he's 6'3". He's crazy.
Good night.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was my height, and I was like, I'm 5'9".
Yeah. I still, every so often, I still see the video of you, me, Ken Heron, Philip, Tate, and maybe 1 or 2 other people dancing on the field with our drones, like doing this little thing. And I have to say, I don't even know if I got to thank you properly for the camera drone song. You've seen that video, right? It's the Paul Simon parody. You're in it. You're in it.
Yes. Before I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, I actually had watched that about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Just reminiscing.
Your part was just so fun. I think you're doing this to the drone.
I don't even remember.
No, that was.
I think I gave you about 5 dance moves.
You did.
And you chose the most embarrassing.
Absolutely. I wanted to put more in, but my editor kept saying, "We got to cut this thing. It's too long." Did you make it all the way to the end for Ken Dono's part?
Was that where he was like to the mic?
Yeah.
It's
if anybody hasn't seen the camera drone song, it's a parody of Kodachrome by Paul Simon, which was a favorite of mine growing up. So Chris, you live in Texas. How's this summer been for you? Has it been a little warm?
Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Tell us.
Yeah,
you were telling me before we came on how hot it was in the warehouse you were in today.
Yeah, so I've transitioned sort of my content. It's more I'm building things, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're good.
Yeah, so I'm in a shop most of the time, and I can't afford to put an air conditioner in there. So it's if you're not in Texas, it's the heat wave we have right now is incredible.
It's insane,
and it's been. I don't know about for you guys. I'm assuming Austin.
102, 104 every day.
Yeah, for at least the last 2.5, 3 weeks. And in the shop, it's about 120, 130. There's a guy that has a shop next to me, and he came in and he was like, "You wouldn't believe it. Put a thermostat in the back of the shop. It's 147." That was today.
Wow.
We were in there for like 5 hours. So
I guess that's almost like being in a locked car, right? Being in a car that's closed.
I would think so.
No still air.
So the weird thing about Texas humidity is because your sweat doesn't evaporate from your body.
No. It's got to be dry for it to evaporate, but then if it's dry, you don't sweat as much. So it's a
right. Yeah. I mean, you just sort of just stewing in your own
Yeah. I changed
Moisture.
shirts actually. I was in a gray shirt, but I put on a clean shirt because I had pit stains and all that stuff before.
Well,
So
if I'm doing a YouTube video, I'll take 3 shirts with me for a day I know I'm going to be working and filming.
so you could
So,
just
because
swap
I'll just
throughout the
I'll
day.
sweat a bra. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, that's enough. And a new shirt. It's
Well,
like, man, he spent months on this. I was like, well,
yeah, and they're slightly different colors, right? They're similar but not
so,
exactly. And
yeah,
you're like, wow,
yeah, that one didn't have a rip over here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's continuity errors. Well, so when you are filming these kind of things, you do use drones a lot, and you told me that you recently actually got asked to flash your 107 card during a shoot. What happened then?
I did. So I got a call from a production company in California. They were coming here to Tyler. We have an oil refinery here, and this oil refinery. Oh man, I wish. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself. I wish I had thought to send this to you sooner. So this oil refinery here uses drones to scan for leaks
Oh
in the
wow,
refinery.
that's cool.
Saves them millions of dollars because
And
typically
probably
if
a
they
lot
shut the
of lot
plant
of
down,
people, right? Saves them a
right,
lot of lives.
they shut the plant completely down and had to, before this, manually scan every inch of the refinery, which is pipes, miles and miles of pipes.
Okay.
So now have a drone system that scans it. Anyway, long story short, this company in California was hired to film them promote their drone scanning system that they now utilize.
Okay.
And they wanted another drone pilot to film the drone.
So very meta.
So I got the call. Yeah, it was bizarre. It's the most nervous I've ever been because they called me like, hey, half a day, can you do it for a ton of money? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Part 107, yes. We get there, and before I go in the gate, before that they had to do a background search on me, and then they met me. FAA, a person from the FAA met me at the entrance of this oil refinery, checked my card, checked my ID and everything. It was like, okay, follow me.
Probably a
And they
no-fly
gave me-
zone, right? Normally.
Very much so. And
Yeah.
I had to pay for insurance I had to have $1 million coverage umbrella. And the FAA, it was the most nervous I've ever been, sat over my shoulder.
Oh man.
And then on this shoulder was a safety guru from the oil refinery going, don't go near that thing. Yeah, no, don't go.
And you're just
over.
praying that your connection to your DJI Spark stays,
Oh,
right? You're like, come
my
on,
gosh.
Sparky.
Yeah, please. Please. It was
What
so
were you
nerve-wracking.
flying? What were you flying?
Mavic 2
Okay.
2 Pro.
Okay, yeah.
And
solid.
that's still what I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole time, like if you hit that, we're dead. If you go over
Wow.
there, I was like, just out of curiosity, like how far away would I have to be to not die? Like, oh well, if
You're in the
this blows
blast
up-
zone, man.
Yeah, they're like Smith County's gone. I was like, I live in Smith County. I was like, really? Because I live 3 miles from here, and I would have
Wow.
assumed I was safe. They're like, no,
Dude.
no.
That is
So
a
it
lot
was-
of pressure.
It was intense.
So
It was
wait,
intense.
so there's somebody else flying a drone, and you're kind of like getting a shot of that drone flying too, right?
Right, and it was this big drone. I'm really sorry. If I had thought this story through, I would have sent you the final video because it's really cool. It's big. What's the big DJI?
The Matrice?
The 6 rotor Matrice.
Yeah.
It's about twice as big as the Matrice.
Wow.
With like an igloo ice chest kind of as its center. And
does
it's
it have bumpers? Does it have like guards?
No. It's just full on its own thing, and it giant props, and it also is automated. It's kind of strange. They have a human monitoring, but the system is automated, so they can say go here, but they don't actually control the ins and outs. So it takes off from like this sort of metal cocoon.
Wow.
That
Okay.
it lands there, charges, dumps all of its information.
Is it permanent? Is that cocoon like permanently installed there, so it lives on the base?
I mean, it's anchored to concrete.
Okay.
So I mean, it's weather sheltered in this
Right. So the drone
And
is
then
always in there doing this pretty
and
much
they
every
fly
day.
it once a day versus scanning the refinery, whatever they did, like once a month. So not only is it saving them a ton of money, but it's upping safety. It's saving lives. It's a pretty incredible system.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty cool, and it was also really scary because we would be sort of like we would have these shots we would want to do. Like I would sort of be here, the sun would be setting, and like let's have it bank over to the left, and
Wow.
out of frame.
Yeah.
But they were like, well, okay, well, would that be northwest, southwest? Where? And I was like, oh my gosh.
What's the latitude and longitude? Like, right?
Yeah, I was like,
just
it was
give me left, right, forward, backwards, or higher, lower.
So we had some close calls, but it was cool. It was cool, and that was the first time I've had a Part 107 since Part 107 was required, and I've done hundreds of jobs for money, and this was the first time that I've ever had been requested to show it.
Right.
And it was literally to the FAA, which is very nerve-wracking.
They had somebody on site.
Yeah, it was probably.
As soon as that FAA guy saw that you used to co-host Thursday Night Live, or that you've been on my show, he's like,
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
done.
he was like, wait a second. Get red flag. Red flag.
So when you got this gig, how much time ahead did they give you? Like, did they call you a week before? Did they call you a day before?
The day before, actually.
Wow.
And that's not, I mean, obviously they had called someone in my town who does commercial work, but he didn't have Part 107.
Wow.
So then they got my, I don't remember how they got my name, but they got it through
probably
some obscure connection.
Probably finding a 107 in Tyler might be kind of, well, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of them. It's just like, how do you find them, right? Are they promoting themselves? Are they advertising?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and you know this, like I've been in video production for years.
Yeah.
And so
when people search
do
video
that.
production Tyler, they find you.
There's an, I'm trying, I don't want to, I'm trying to put this in a non-arrogant way. There's enough people that do video production where I live that I'm assuming somehow they knew someone who knew me.
Reference you. They're like, he's the guy that drove a trash can 60 miles an hour. You want him on this dangerous.
Oh, you need somebody brainless. Yes.
And if Smith County is going up, he's fine. He's risking his life all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so
exactly
you said
right.
you've been building a lot. What kind of things have you been building?
Well, trash can.
Yeah,
that was a big
one. Yeah.
I've actually, the video I'm working on right now, I've been building and then postponing and changing. I'm on my third redirect. Oh, that's a great shot of me squatting down over that stuff. So trash cans, I've actually been working on a submarine. That one is going well.
And that's a very hot topic with that explosion or that submarine that blew up. I mean, I get that in my feed all the time now.
Well,
you're gonna go. You're not going to the Titanic, I hope.
So yeah, actually, I started the submarine build in May, and I got a sponsor for the video, which is kind of a new thing for me.
Yeah.
And the sponsor is a mobile game that is a submarine battle game.
Okay.
And this was in May, and so I was building it in May, and then June. It was supposed to be done in June, and then the Ocean Gate, whatever it was called, happened.
Yeah.
And the tagline for the game was "Take command of a submarine and send your enemies to the bottom of the sea."
Oh, yeah.
And
that didn't sound so good.
I called them. They're in like Norway or Sweden or something. I was like, "Hey guys, I don't know if you guys are watching the news or if you get the same news we get, but I'm feeling a little uncomfortable about this. It just feels opportunistic, and I'm not uncomfortable." So they're like, "Well, if you want to postpone it, that's fine." So it's submarine is kind of over on the shelf.
Okay.
And I've switched over. I'm trying to do a different land speed record now.
Or can you say?
With a baby stroller.
No baby in it, I hope.
Just me. I'm the baby.
Okay.
There is a record. There is a standing baby stroller record right now of 53 miles an hour.
That's faster than the old record for the trash can. Wasn't that 46 or something with the trash can?
Yeah. What was the old record? 40. It was 42 or 43.
It was 40 something. Yeah. And you blew that away.
Oh, yeah. I did. I was surprised.
So tell me you aren't making the submarine out of the same trash can, please. You're not using
No,
the
no,
same...
no, no.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
using 55-gallon steel drums.
Well, that's kind of just a trash can, isn't it? Same shape.
Same shape, same shape. I'm not really worried about trying to make like a submarine, how you would think of submarine. I'm modeling it after those they're called sea breachers, which
Okay.
is essentially it's
Does it have
the
a motor on the
professional
back?
ones.
Like
It has a
they
motor in it. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you see
So
you see them like coming up
it's
out of the water and doing
right,
that crazy
right.
stuff.
It's closer to like a jet ski or a sea-doo with a canopy. So
Okay.
you're cruising on the surface, you can punch it and it dives under. It only goes like 5, 6 feet or so. Then you can bring it up. So it's calling it a submarine because
So
it does go below the
so
water.
if you push the right stick, does it do a flip?
It looks like I don't know if mine will. I haven't even put it in the
Like a
water
toy
because it's still
drone.
sort of in three pieces. But
Okay.
uh, I hope it does.
Dude,
But honestly, if I can just get my head underwater, I'll be stoked because
so what
it's
happens if you get in there?
Oh, you found one. Yes, exactly.
You
That.
get in this thing and it just decides to go, because you're pretty muscular, right? And muscle sinks. So you're in there, your big old muscles are just overpowering it, and then it just goes to the bottom. What you have
Well,
like balloons that go up or eject
no, I
seat
thought
or
about
what?
that. I went on Amazon and I bought.
Wait, hold my beer.
No, I bought. Do you dive? Do you scuba dive?
I got
Uh,
my PADI certificate years ago, but I haven't been in a long time.
okay. Well, do you remember when they used to talk about spare air?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a half. It's a 10-minute canister of
Oh yeah, 10 minutes.
underwater
10
air
minutes is plenty of time to weld your
to
way
get
out of a
out,
tin can.
swim up to the surface.
How?
So I got one of those,
Whoa.
and I will be in it with it like Velcro to my chest.
Where? So I, when I talked to you a few weeks ago and you agreed to come on the show, first thing I suggested to Chris was get Rubbermaid to sponsor you next time, right? I mean, there's no better. Don't they want to have the fastest trash can or whoever? Who else makes trash
Yeah,
cans?
whoever.
There's
Tupperware.
Rubbermaid, Tupperware. Well, I don't know if Tupperware makes trash cans, but you know what I mean, like big rubber things.
Yeah,
That was
you
number
would
one.
think.
And number two, call me because I want to chase you with an FPV drone, right? I mean, how cool would it have been to have that
Yeah.
thing like zipping around you? So I'm thinking I need some sort of a waterproof drone that can chase you on the surface and then dive
Yeah.
under.
What if? Okay, so I was watching a YouTuber yesterday who does paragliding, a paramotor.
Yeah, is his name? What is his name?
Something got.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen
like
this. Tucker Gott.
Tucker got, and he's got this thing. It's almost like a drag chute that has a GoPro in it, and he drags it behind him, so it stays about 20 feet behind him. And as he flies,
It's
it
like a
just
drone
gives you
shot. It looks like a drone
yeah,
shot. Wow.
it's super cool, and it follows him. I wonder if we could come up. Remember those Insta360 had those little torpedoes that you could throw?
Yeah, you could get
What
one
if
for
we just-
underwater.
What if we just put it on a rope?
Yeah,
Just put it on a rope and just drag it.
Well, honestly, an Insta360 on a rope, as long as it's because the only blind spot is
As long
the
as it's
bottom,
straight,
right? So as
it
long
would-
as
yeah.
if you put it in a little, like two strings, like basically there's one rope and then it splits off into two, and those
Right,
two are
right.
equal length, and then and then those it makes the lens it makes the thing up and down. It won't matter if it
Yeah.
turns. Yeah, there you go.
Uh-oh,
Submarine.
we've just done something.
Yeah, well, no, that was your
I don't
idea.
know. I don't.
I love it though. No, so the other question though is where could you take a submarine in Texas with clear enough water to see where the heck you're
Yeah.
going? Because I
Yeah.
feel like you're going to be if you're in Lake Travis or Inks Lake or Lake Houston or Conroe, you're going to be going along. And then all of a sudden, boom! You're going to run into a Volkswagen or something that somebody ditched in the water.
Well, and it's same around here.
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
muddy.
we have Lake Tyler and Lake Palestine, and they are both full of tree stumps.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I can definitely get underwater. Hopefully, I'll be able to get underwater. At least a couple of feet. But the visibility will be horrendous. So
Yeah.
I've had a couple of people say like, "Oh, just go down to the ocean." But I mean, the Texas coast is not clear.
No. Well,
I would have
do
to go.
Do you know why? Do you know why like Galveston is dirty? Do you know the reason? There's actually a very logical reason.
well, is it not just the ocean currents that
It's the Mississippi.
swirl?
It's the Mississippi. So
Oh,
the
well, yeah.
Mississippi,
It's all that sediment is just,
and silt from the Mississippi. Basically, if you look at somebody suggested Possum Kingdom, was Michael Wright suggested Possum Kingdom Lake. That's up near Dallas.
sorry, I'm gonna write this.
But if
I
you
haven't
look
heard
at a
of that.
satellite view of the Gulf of Mexico, if you go 10 miles offshore, the Gulf is actually pretty clear.
Right.
It just is dirty right there because the way the Mississippi drains, it actually just creates this big plume of sediment around, and Texas unfortunately is part of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because if you go far enough over on Florida, it starts getting pretty clear.
Well, they have a town called Clearwater, right? Clearwater,
True.
Florida.
I think. Yeah. No, you're right.
It'd be ironic if it was muddy.
Well, and you always get advice from people who have unlimited funds, and they're like, "Look, just ship it over to LA. Go out to this island." I'm like,
no.
I'm working on a deficit with my channel.
I have the place for you. Upstate New York, the St. Lawrence River. It's crystal clear water, and my wife has a place up there, so we could camp out there, and we have a boat dock. So you could just dock it right at the boat.
I've seen your pictures from there. That place is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and the water is actually really, really clear. It's lots of visibility. It's cold water. It's fresh water.
I don't know about cold.
Don't be a baby. Come on, D-bag.
I'm sure it's gonna leak. Matter of fact, I'm positive.
Yeah, Chris has got some footage from up there. I'm actually going back up there tomorrow. So my wife is up there right now, and there's freighters. So we could chase a freighter with the submarine. How cool would that be?
See if I could jump those weights.
You think it would keep up with that thing?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Well, regardless, I'm super psyched about that. But the real reason people joined us tonight, besides your handsome good looks, is the trash can video. We want to talk about that. So tell us when that started. When did you decide this was a good idea?
Oof. I don't know if I ever decided it was a good idea.
When did you decide to do it?
Right. Okay. So last year I did a video where I set a land speed record in a radio flyer wagon.
Okay. Okay.
And that video, that was a record that a much larger YouTuber set. And I had recently met him, and I thought, oh, you know what? This guy got like 6 million views off this. If I could beat that, I'll get 6 million views. And I spent a month and a half building it, set the record, broke his record, and I got like 3,000 views. So definitely not worth the effort.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun, and it was so the whole process of doing that was so just, I don't know. It was just sort of like this, like going out and doing it every day, building it. So it was just sort of like a zen, just very cathartic experience that I was like, I just want to do that again. And I did other videos after that were not doing land speed records, and literally just taking out the trash one day. I was like, I bet no one's ever done, land speed record in a trash can. I could do 10 miles an hour and, world record.
You could break it right now. Just hop in and roll down the hill.
Just run down the road.
Yeah.
And then I unfortunately Googled it, and there was an official Guinness World Record.
And some bloke from England, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Dang it.
Technically, it's a different record. Do you know why? Because it's called a dustbin over there. They don't call it a trash can or a garbage. It's called a dustbin. So he's got the dustbin record, and you've got the trash can, the good old American trash can record.
Solid point. And his trash can had it was a little bit bigger than mine. Also,
what's metric?
He had gears.
What?
Well, and so through the course of this, I saw that he said he had already owned a record, and I was like, dang it, that's a lot faster than I was really sort of thinking. Because 42 or 43 was the official Guinness record.
And this was miles per hour, not kilometers.
Miles,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like 60 something kilometers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, holy crow, that's a lot. But I do I do. I grew up in high school doing racing, doing karting, shifter karts,
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. So I work with those small engines quite a bit still, just as a hobby. And so I knew them well. I was like, okay, I know how to do gearing on this. Like I've built a go kart, they'll do 75. I was like, okay, so I know I can build the engine. Will it do that with this wall of anti
Right, right,
aerodynamics,
right.
on it? I was like, I know if I take this off, I could probably do 65, 70. Let's see. As I put the trash can on it. And luckily, I was able to do that.
You probably had
Um,
to have a lot of low center of gravity too to keep it from tipping over, right?
Clearly not enough.
Well, yeah, yeah, because
So
you did tip over.
I did find out that there is a limit.
Well, and also you did it differently because you got in and closed the lid,
Right.
whereas the other dude was he
He
was kind
had
of
a
like hanging out it like a
chest.
dog. Like,
Right. His chest and shoulders and head, everything was hanging out the top of it. And I just didn't want to do that. First of all, because it looked really scary.
yeah,
Um, and it just seemed like a high center of gravity.
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, but yeah, my design was trying to get as low as possible. Unfortunately, I do think that my design flaw, part of the reason it did end up flipping over, if you haven't seen the video, was because my roof latch system wasn't that good, and it was pulling up,
Oh, so
and
it's
you can
getting
see in the
air.
video.
There was air
I
coming
think
in.
it was literally just doing this,
Yeah,
and that's what eventually.
became a sail.
Yeah,
What made you
that's my theory.
What made you think that tiny little bike tire was going to do the job for steering? I mean, why didn't you have those little tassels, those little pink tassels on the steering?
Well, I almost put some cards in the spokes,
Oh,
uh,
that would've been cool.
but then I didn't run a muffler, so it was pretty loud.
Yeah. Okay. And
Uh,
this track was in Tyler.
it is,
Okay.
yeah, was actually. It's
Really?
very interesting.
They
The
got
guy
shut
who owns
down?
that, yes. So okay, so I called probably 15 different drag strips in Texas, and all of them told me anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 to come out and run. And I get it; they have like their track rental fees. That's totally
Yeah. Yeah. Legit.
acceptable. However, I was like, listen, I'm not trying to downplay this, but like I am at the time like 30,000 subscriber channel. I am doing this out of my own pocket. I'm like, was one person deal? Like, I just need a safe place that's flat with no traffic. And they're like, well, sorry, the rate's the rate, and totally fair. I just could not. It's not a price I could swallow. Got a hold of that place, which was called Redline Raceway, and the guy was right away. He was like, man, that sounds amazing. Yes. He was like, I don't know, it's $100. I was like,
How about I'll throw in some pizza?
yeah. I was like for like 30 minutes. Like, what do you? And he was like, he's like, I got nothing going on. He's like, 10 to 5. I got nothing going on. You can have it. I was like, 10 to 5.
Wow.
That's incredible. $100. So yeah, super cool. Do the video, upload it. It starts doing well. I'm trying to text him, call him, email him, Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Zero
Look at your
response.
track. Look at your track. It's a million
Yeah.
views at this point.
People in the comments are like, "Oh, that track is 2 minutes from my house. I go there all the time." And anyway, from the time that I filmed it, so it took me a couple of weeks to edit, they had gone out of business and were shut down before I got the video uploaded.
Wow. Well,
Uh,
that's because he was only charging $100 for people to
Yeah,
come and
no, it's
race.
possibly.
It's like your gym member guy, right? The guy who was who was renting the huge gym you said failed before we.
Oh
started.
yeah.
Didn't do the math.
$9,000.
If he had charged you $200, he'd probably still be in business now. But
just barely,
yeah,
but he would.
He would.
Yeah.
He would be scraping by, man.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah,
So
it was
so
sad.
did you ever get a hold of the guy?
No, I got a
Wow.
hold of. I commented on his Facebook page, which is gone, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of Brian. Here's the video. People are liking it. I just want you guys to know how grateful I am
Yeah.
for
Say thank you.
to make this possible, because I couldn't have afforded anything else.
Yeah.
And this one guy's like, hey, I run the gas pump here. I'll see if Brian, I'll send it to him. And like nobody has ever. I have no idea if he's ever seen it.
Wow.
Like I tag them in it. You know, in YouTube you can geotag,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where did you film the video? I put that to his
yeah,
business.
yeah.
I did Instagram. I did a reel on Instagram that went viral. Uh, it's got like 12 million views on Instagram,
Wow.
and I tagged them. You know, like yeah, and never responded, nothing. And I was bummed by that. I was like, the guy was so cool. I wanted him to really see that people responded well to
Yeah,
this thing
yeah,
I did at his place, and yeah, too little, too late. I guess I don't
yeah,
know, but
yeah. Well, no, I mean, who knows? But I think at some point, I believe that when you do something good, and he did something good by letting you do that, it'll come back to him, right? It
I hope so.
might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it will happen. And man, and just all it took was your perseverance of calling place after place and finding some place that was like thought it was a great idea, right? This guy was suddenly okay. That sounds cool.
He
Let's
was
do it.
on board from a literally, you know, usually I had to give like this whole spiel, like, hey, just give me a second. So I'm this YouTuber, yeah, trying to get my channel going. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm trying to do. You know, it'd just be me and maybe like a camera guy, maybe one other guy. You know, but not a ton of people, not bringing a crew.
Right,
You
right.
know, and like here's what we do. Like, just give me 30 minutes just to make a quick pass, film it, maybe do some B-roll. You know, but I'll definitely shout you guys out. You know, is that something you would do? Like, yeah, $2,500.
$2,500 for half a day.
We are not
Pew
we are
pew.
not vibing
Yeah.
on the same frequency.
Well, if I ever own a drag race track, I'm gonna be like the nicest drag race track owner ever, just in the hopes that people and it feels like you're on a bit of a tangent here with these land speed records, right? I mean, you know, it's something that you could come up with. I mean, I'm trying to think of some other things that you. What else could you set a land speed record with that hasn't been done? You think? I mean, you know, not a skateboard.
That hasn't been done.
Yeah. Well,
well,
or
I
that you
told-
could beat, like within your area of expertise of knowing about go karts. Is that your guy? Is that Brian?
Right, low hanging fruit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the owner. That's
Okay.
his name's Brian.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
What's low hanging fruit or something? Let's get some
Well,
suggestions. in the chats here.
I told you I was doing the baby stroller.
Yeah. That's.
I can't remember if we did that on the show or if we did that before the show.
No, you said it on the show,
Um,
and that's a great one. But I'm trying
Okay.
to think of like I want you to have 3 or 4 other ideas in your back pocket.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a YouTuber in Los Angeles that hit me up. He's really big. He was like, hey, his name's Nick Uhas. He's pretty big. And he hit me up and he was like, hey, I want to come out and like collaborate on a land speed record. And I was like, hey, well, I'm doing this baby stroller. He's like, no, I need something more ridiculous.
That's pretty
was like-
ridiculous. What? Okay, a refrigerator. How about a refrigerator? A refrigerator. Because you think about a refrigerator, it's kind of like a tank, right? And it's totally
True.
It would be very safe, right?
What about a coffin? I feel like that would be. That's more poetic.
That
That might be a little too on the nose.
You know what though? If you could get that out in time for Halloween, I think it would get. You know, if you got that out in like late September, and it wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be hard to put some wheels on a coffin, dude.
It wouldn't.
That's a brilliant idea.
Wouldn't.
It would not be hard, and it would not be hard to have steering and a little window in the front, and yeah.
I need to Google that. Hang on, I gotta write down. I have like a
Wait,
note,
Chris,
a note.
will you live Google it? Chris Waters, he's gonna live Google this for us and see if
Okay.
coffin,
World's fastest coffin.
world's fastest coffin. Yeah, I see.
I always have a note, like a note file in my phone of video ideas, and so like I always like write them down right away because I'll always forget.
Do you remember
3
that?
o'clock in the morning.
Do you remember that movie or TV show? It was like, I think it was the Addams Family maybe, or the Munsters, but they drove a car that was like kind of like looked like a coffin
yeah.
a little bit. But I don't remember exactly what their car looked like. So
Okay, I think you're right because one of them drove a hearse and I think the other one drove a coffin.
yeah, there was a hearse. That's maybe what I'm thinking of. But I think a coffin would be, that would get you, I mean, again, if you could launch that right
How much
before
does
Halloween,
a coffin cost?
you get a coffin company to sponsor you.
Rush to your death.
No, I mean, how great would that be for Bob's coffin and coffins? You know? Are you coughing? Come get in the coffin. So
You know that mortician that Jack Black made a movie about Bernie. That was
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
It's literally is
Yep.
2 miles away.
It was called, wasn't it called Bernie?
Yeah, it's called Bernie. I
Yeah,
don't remember his last name.
Jack Black was in it. That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, he did a lot of that. So I wonder if I look those guys up. Hey, you want to turn your image around?
As a matter of fact, you could build a coffin. Actually, MKRC says build a pine coffin. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from just building one.
That's a
and
good
painting
point.
it. And
I mean, mine would probably look
little
more
upholstery
like a
on the
crate.
inside. No, you just what you do is you kind of like make it kind
Upholstery
of
on the
accordion
inside.
out and then come back a little bit. You get some cloth and you upholster the inside. You put a nice shellac on it.
do I ride it with the door attached?
No,
Like
I think
just
the door's
dangling out
closed.
there?
I think you get in it, and here's what you do. Here's what you do, Chris. You lay on your back, and you have a
In a
camera.
graveyard.
Yeah, you lay on your back. You have a camera, and your steering is either attached to the roof.
So I put like plexiglass on one wall, and I steer between my feet.
Well, no. What
I
if you
can
had a
see-
camera though? What if there was a FPV camera?
Oh.
Oh, you just have goggles. You just wear goggles with the FPV camera.
What's the latency on that?
I mean,
gosh.
quarter of a second, tenth of a second.
I think it's like 50 milliseconds.
50 milliseconds, Chris Waters says. Yeah, I mean, if you're on a big, wide open kind of thing, I mean, if you've flown FPV, right? So if you're flying FPV,
Yeah.
you know you're going
No,
pretty
it's pretty
fast,
quick.
and yeah, I mean, you're super close to. Dude, I think FPV goggles. That just solves a whole lot of problems. Just with and maybe you have a little glass
That's-
window just in case.
Yeah, just a little manual override. I could sort of like look through.
I feel like because it is now, beginning of August, you either got to jump on this quickly for October,
Yeah.
or let it go for next year. I think you scrap the baby because your kid's not old enough to drive that thing yet, right? I think 3 is really the appropriate age for a land speed record in a baby stroller.
Well, so here's the thinking on the stroller. Both my kids have sort of outgrown strollers.
Okay.
And I've been pushing that stupid thing around for 4 years. It's time for Dad to have some fun.
So how are you going to steer that thing, or how are you gonna? Have you built it yet? Is it in process?
So it is a rolling chassis at this point. So the engine will be going on next week, throttle and all, brakes, and sort of building the brake system right now. So, I mean, it's probably, the problem is right now my wife is working night shift, so I only have like a day and a half a week to work on it, which
Gotcha.
drags what would be like a week into a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird situation we're in right now.
Joe Blaylock says 90 miles an hour is the coffin record. That's pretty serious. Joe, can you link oh, he did.
Yeah.
He linked in something.
Can you put that up?
in the chats? Yeah. Can you Perth pairs Guinness Book of Record for fastest coffin on wheels? It sounds like Perth, Australia,
that-
maybe. Yeah, are you in the chat? Do you see it, Chris? Chris Waters.
Let me.
If you go back, Joe Blaylock linked the article about the world's fastest coffin. So here's an idea for the stroller.
That's
though.
fast.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour. But if you look at this thing, it's a car. They just use the coffin as a seat. Like they weren't actually laying in it.
Yeah.
With the door. It
Look,
looks
okay, see, like oh, come on, that's a dune buggy with a
exactly
coffin body.
Exactly.
So, like the guy who originally set the Radio Flyer Wagon record, the second guy, he broke that record because the Guinness record was a go-kart that they just put like a wagon body on.
Oh.
He was like, see, that's BS.
not actually a wagon. Yeah.
It's not a wagon. No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, my best friend owns 2 Dodge Vipers. I could go put that wagon on the roof
Right.
and
Right.
do 180 and be like, hey, world record, which is why he did the record he did, where he used the wheels of the wagon. He used, he didn't put bearings and anything super fancy. He didn't reinforce it. He just took it as is.
Just a little graphite on the bearings.
Right.
There you go.
Right, which is what we did. I was like, okay, so I'm going to take his rules that he, sort of the rules that he set for his record, and I did the same thing.
So one thought for the baby stroller that I think would make it extra cool. What position? Well, tell me this. What position are you going to be in as the baby stroller is moving?
Well, I'm going to be sitting in it here. Let me see if this will even play.
Okay,
if I
okay,
can
okay. Hold on,
choose.
hold on. Before you play this, let me just tell you. Here's a even better if for that. It's probably too late because you're already down the path. But instead of sitting in the baby stroller, you stand behind it and you have a little platform that you're on that has little tiny wheels.
Right.
And then the throttle is on the handle, and then the power is in the wheels on the stroller, and
Right.
you're standing behind it as if you're walking. It could even be
Okay.
a treadmill. So as you're going 50 miles an hour, you just walk. You look like you're like Michael Jacksoning. You know, you're moonwalking.
Ah, man, you imagine the speed wobble as you're running, trying to. So I don't know if Chris can look this up. I don't know you, Chris. I'm sorry, and I can't see you. So Colin Furs,
Colin Furs.
Pram, Pram. That's what they
Pram.
call a baby stroller in the UK.
Okay, so again, it's a different record. Besides, it's a dustbin
Well, no,
and a
he
pram.
built it just like you described it.
Oh,
That's why I'm saying
he's standing.
I want you to see this.
Okay, we got it.
This guy's ludicrous.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yes, I've never
Yes.
seen this, but
And he put gears on it with a hydraulic gear shift. This guy is incredibly amazing. If you don't subscribe to him, this guy's, I think he's like 15 million subscribers. This guy's insane.
well, before you subscribe to him, subscribe to Chris Rollins, and then subscribe to Sunrise Water Media, and then subscribe to me, and
There you
then
go.
subscribe to this guy.
Yeah.
But yes,
Sorry,
this is exactly what I was
take your
talking
guys.
about.
Yeah, this guy is phenomenal engineer. By the way, he has like 23 different Guinness records.
He's not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, he's
That's-
also insane.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
But anyway, yeah, that's a really crazy machine he built. And he has the official Guinness record at 53.
Okay.
He started following me on Instagram after my trash can video.
Okay.
And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want to take a run at your
Oh Lord.
your baby record. And he saw it and he goes, okay. I was like, oh, well, it's not quite as enthusiastic as I was hoping for.
Yeah. You wanted. All right, mate.
I was
Challenge
like, best
accepted.
of luck.
Oi.
Yeah.
Mind
So-
yourself.
Yeah. You couldn't do it.
Wow.
That was not a good British accent.
Oi.
but,
You just have to say oi.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, that guy set the benchmark.
Okay.
And I'm in this weird position where I'm using the baby stroller that Chris showed. The one that I'm using is one for jogging.
Okay.
So it's got like
yeah.
a 16-inch wheel for the
Yeah.
front and for the back. They're big. It's just like little bike
Yeah,
wheels.
like little
It's
bike
oh, it's
wheels.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not modifying it too much to make this we're really getting in there.
Just to make it like you don't want it to be like a go-kart with a baby.
Right. Let's
seat
see if
on
y'all
top.
can see this here. If this is a little better. So let's see if that's any.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
That's it.
So you can sort of see.
Is that
so
wait, who's
these-
sitting in it? Is that you?
That's me.
That's you. Wow.
That's me.
You look so big in that thing.
You
Actually, you
think?
don't. You look. So, did you make it bigger?
No, that's the size of it.
Wow. Okay.
So the wheels I moved the wheels back about 10 inches because they were under my hips, and I'm done flipping over.
yeah. None of that.
Um,
Agreed.
I've done that once. That was plenty. And this one is very dangerous. So the wheels that were on it were pneumatic tires, but with plastic wheels. And I've switched over to a bicycle wheel. I've been going around town on Facebook Marketplace buying $10 Elsa and Anna bicycles, and I'm stealing the wheels off those.
Okay.
And so that's what those are metal rims. But so the other day I got the wheels on, got the axle on, got the steering kind of sorted out, and it is very, very unstable
Okay.
to the point that it's made me very nervous. Like I'm actually scared of this right now,
yeah.
to where I don't know if I need to switch over to maybe some sort of go-kart tire like I did the trash can.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say that because I like the idea of keeping the wheels as they came from the factory, but at the same time, I need to not die. And
I don't think your viewers are going to care. I don't think I think most of your viewers, there will be the hardcore people that are like, well, that's not stock from the factory.
Well, and that happened with the trash can video. That's not a trash can,
but
that's fine.
it still got 1.5 million views, and so I think it's all about the actual adventure of doing it, and also I think people are impressed by the fact that you can take better equipment and put it retrofit it onto a baby stroller or a pram, as they call it. And then what it's all about is the thumbnail. And all you got to do to get a lot of views, I've learned, is you do the Ken Dono, original Dobo thumbnail. Yeah, you got it. It's always some sort of like twisted, excited face, and
with
then
a big red arrow.
And then like 60,000 views. I'm like, okay, Dono, goodness, I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. I just think his thumbnails are invariably they're like that. Yeah.
In the drone community, he has some of the best thumbnails.
Oh, absolutely.
Like his thumbnails are
or worst, but
flawless.
They get clicks.
Yeah. Like that one. I love that one with
the cop get arrested. So Chris Waters actually made a thumbnail. Can you pull up the raccoon? We had this thing recently. The way my channel started, a lot of it was getting sent these really, what I call, I won't say the S word, but crappy camera drones. They'd send me these, and I would review them. And
I got those.
Yeah. And, as you grow, your channel starts to get them.
You get excited about it.
Hey, I got a free $30 drone. Wow. And then it's a $100 drone. Well, these drones that are between like $100 and $300 never do what they say, right? They're always like overpromise and underdeliver. So I kind of did this rant video that's done really well. Like it's for one of my videos recently. It's done really well. So Chris actually snuck in the trash can and rescued the drone that I had thrown away, and he made a video about that whole thing. And he did this cool thumbnail with the raccoon. That raccoon,
great thumbnail.
Can you zoom in on that? This video only has 800 views, 1,000 views?
It's 1,000.
1,000 views. And we thought for sure this was going to go crazy. But you know how he did that thumbnail? You know how he did that raccoon? Have you played with Adobe Photoshop's AI yet?
Yes.
He just said, put a raccoon here, and Photoshop did it. Like, what?
Yes.
And it gave us options. It gave us like 3 different raccoons, Wow.
Yes. Dude, I have, so my next 2 videos are not land speed record related. And I was like, the thumbnail that I had in my head, I was like, that'd be very difficult to do. Yeah. Almost impossible. So I have started playing with that. It's incredible. Yeah. Game changer technology. Because you can start faking a lot of stuff. I was literally like, I'm doing a video. My next video after this baby stroller video is I'm trying to see how many umbrellas it takes to be a parachute. So, like, I've got this. There's this.
How much life insurance do you have? How much life insurance do you have?
I'm worth more dead than alive. That's for sure.
Oh, Chris.
Which is not saying a lot.
Oh, man.
No, but point being, there's this huge YouTuber who just moved from Los Angeles to Smith County, where I live. 7 million subscribers.
Okay.
I got a connection through him through a guy who I helped get a job. Very random. Anyway, guy called me. He was like, hey, if you ever want to film out here, do your thing. And he's got a crane in a pond.
Oh.
I was like, cool. So can you do this? Like, take me up and just drop me? He was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So anyway, so that
said, but that $100 and a pizza.
Yeah. Well, that dude, that guy makes about 30 grand a day. That's the kind of views he's getting.
Oh.
So
wait, the YouTuber has a crane?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No. This YouTuber that moved from Los Angeles to Smith County.
And he probably bought 15 houses with the money he has.
He bought a giant house with a bunch of land.
Wow.
And he bought a water park. He bought all stuff and moved it all to his house. It's crazy.
Wow.
I'll give you his name. Is the Funk Bros. FUNK.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like
Corey Funk. He was an X Games athlete. It was
okay.
Very random that I got a connection with him. But he was like, "Yeah, if you want to come out," and I was like, "I just want to jump off your crane with an umbrella." He was like, "Yeah, sure." Whatever. I mean, like I have as many subscribers as he makes in half a day.
Right.
I mean, it says
is this his crane?
This is his yard. Yeah,
Good Lord.
that's one of his many swings.
Wow.
So I still have not met him in person. We've spoke on the phone a couple times.
Yeah.
He's off right now in Switzerland doing something for Red Bull. So I mean, like we lead very different lives.
Yeah.
But he's gonna
You're
let
in
me jump off.
140-degree warehouse welding, and he's in Switzerland jumping off of cliffs.
Yeah, and he has 15 guys that help him do these crazy videos.
So this is the crane that you're gonna drop the parachute from.
I think so. I haven't seen it in person, but I asked him. I was like, "Look, I just want to do a video with umbrellas, where I'm testing like 1, 2, and I'm going to build a rig to help me build, hold
So,
like
so
10.
you're okay with falling into the pond? I guess. I mean, he's jumping into. It must be deep enough to 10 feet, 20 feet deep, or whatever.
I'm told it's like 10.
Okay.
I haven't been there.
Have you ever been? So have you ever been to the water park, the surf park in Waco?
No, I haven't. I've seen it, and
So-
I have friends that go there, but I've never.
They
been.
have a thing called, I think it's called the Royal Flush, and it is a pond, and it's a big slide, and it launches you way up into the air. I went there with I went there with Sean Oz, actually. He wanted to surf, and I chased him with a drone while he was surfing, so that was kind of cool. But
I love Sean.
well, so how are you on time? Because there's a few other things I want to get to, and I told you it'd only
Yeah,
be
I
an
feel
hour.
like I've eaten up all your time.
No.
rambling on.
This has actually been honestly one of my favorite. The time has zipped by. I think audience. I mean, gosh, I feel like you should just Chris Rollins should just do this show every month, and I should just be maybe the 5-minute guest. But no, it's been awesome. I just have I have a little game called Hidden Hashtags. Do you want to see what
Okay.
that's about? Do you have
Do I need to be able to see chat? I can't.
yeah,
I can't see.
You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see.
Because
No, you
you
don't-
and I are on Zoom.
Yeah,
and so
but
I'm not
you'll-
on YouTube.
You'll be able to see you'll be able to see it here in a second.
Okay.
So I guess I'm asking, like, do you have 15 more minutes? You have 20 more minutes before.
Yeah,
you
no,
turn
we're
into a
fine,
pump.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, we're
hidden
fine.
hashtags is this thing that actually Chris Waters came up with. He's a brilliant dude, where we hide a hashtag in our videos so that people who find it, they put it in the comments, and then we put their name on the wheel, and then if we spin it, and if your name wins, you win the prize for the month.
Okay.
And we're getting custom stickers made, hidden hashtag stickers, because so many people from Australia keep winning, and I have to ship T-shirts to Australia, and it's like $40 to ship a T-shirt to Australia. So I got to get stickers. So we're getting a hidden hashtag sticker. This you heard it first
Okay.
here. It was Chris Waters' idea, but so these are all the folks that that commented. It's kind of a fun thing, Chris Rollins, because if you put these in your thing, you'll find that there'll be points where, if you look at the analytics where people have rewound, you'll see these places where people rewind over and over because they're trying to get the hidden hashtag. And
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so everybody on
And
the
that's
wheel.
good for your engagement, though. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Everybody in the wheel found a hidden hashtag. And so what we do is we spin the wheel. So you're going to reach over with, I think, your left hand. Let me see. Is it your left
Me?
hand? Yeah. Hold up your left hand. Okay. And then reach over and go like that. Are you ready? You ready, Chris? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Just reach
Wait,
over.
hang on. So hang on a second. You broke up for a second. I reach over where?
Reach over like this. And then you'll just like go upward. All right.
Oh, like I'm spinning.
There you go. Did you see it?
Triggered it.
Yeah.
And the winner of the hidden hashtag,
Right. Michael Wright.
Michael
Texas.
Wright, Texas architecture drone guy from Dallas, McKinney. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Michael Wright always gets the hidden hashtag. So, gosh, I've probably sent like 20 prizes to Michael Wright, but I'm going to send him another one because I love Michael Wright and I appreciate he always watching and getting the hidden hashtag. So,
So where are they? In case it's like when I watch this in the future, I'm going to be looking for these hashtags. Like, for example, I see down here hashtag don't fly alone.
yeah.
That's not one.
No, it would be, it's actually just like a flash frame for probably half a second in the video. So as the video is playing, Chris, do you have one? Do you have one handy?
Clearly not been paying
As the
close
video is
attention.
playing, we just flash up a hashtag and it says, if you see this, comment below and we'll put your name in the hat for a prize. So,
Gotcha.
so yeah, hold on. Chris has got one here. It's stuff like bloodshot eyes or big crash or
Okay.
that sort of thing. So Chris has got one coming up here. So this was the old studio where we moved from, which is about half the size of where we are now. And
This isn't where we did
no, that
spin up
that was the place I told you was really expensive
before this.
and so I moved into a really cheap place for 2 years, and now that lease is up, and I'm moving into this like medium place. So you see it down there at the
Gotcha.
bottom of this. Is it?
Kind of hidden there.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden, but anyway, it's just like if you're watching and paying attention, you'll see it.
Right.
So-
Okay.
So
Sorry, I also saw a couple of really awesome creators there on the side.
So awesome! Thank you to Michael Wright for getting the hidden hashtag. The next thing that we're gonna do, Chris Waters posted a picture of me, unbeknownst to me. I can see it now, but unbeknownst to me, he posted this picture and asked people to caption it. So, Chris Rollins, how would you caption this? What would you say?
Oh gosh, I'm not a good captioner. I don't know.
I'm better at capturing than captioning.
This is a very much don't drone me, bro. Like.
All right. Well, we did get some responses. I think we got like 10 or 15 responses.
We got quite a few responses.
Chris Waters.
This is the voice of Chris Waters.
So you want to play some of the responses we got for this caption?
Yes.
I have not seen these, by the way.
All right. So the first one is from Ben T, and he says, "The future is bright." That's his caption.
Okay. All right.
The next one is from Chris Hope, and he said, "That hurt, Kai."
Like Kai whacked me.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
All right. Johnny Drone.
Kai does that.
Johnny Drone Flyer says, "Not so ready, set to drone."
Oh, I see what he did there. All right, we're getting a little breakup on your mic, by the way. Yeah, just hold that connection.
All right. Hopefully that'll be
That's better.
That's solid.
All right. And then Philip Koshat says, "Can't see my drone for the sun shining in my eyes." Oh, wait. I haven't launched it yet.
Oh, I see what he did there. Okay.
And then
By the way, I'm holding
Go
a
ahead,
drone
sorry.
in this picture. There's a little tiny gold drone in one hand and my controller in the other. I think what had happened is I'd just fallen over, or maybe I'd had too much to drink, or something. I don't fly and drink, by the way. You know,
No.
you don't
Why
8
did-
hours. What is it? Bottle to stick or something.
bottle.
Yeah. Well, why is
Bottom
it
throttle.
that you are laying
So
on
we
a
were
tombstone?
so that's my I asked him to lie down. We were trying to get different ideas for thumbnails, and this was a failure, but I decided to get this photo anyway. This
Love it.
next caption is from Lawrence Novice Quads. He says, "Ready, set, nap time."
That's actually pretty accurate. I did not take a nap today, and I'm really regretting it.
All right, Ray Kelly says, "I think I need my goggles."
No, fair.
TJ Grady says, "Works better as sunglasses than a drone."
Yeah, that was a pretty terrible drone. So actually, that's kind of true. Well, actually, that one wasn't too bad.
So Lloyd, the grumpy vlogger, says, "Why the heck did they put the user manual on the back of this stupid controller, and in Chinese no less? Chris, get my bifocals for me."
That's my favorite so far. Lloyd, you got my favorite so far.
All right, and this is from John Coopy, of course, referring to this drone, cheap drones, when the cringe is just too strong.
Fair. Hashtag cringy.
And this is from Mike Kelly, who I
Wow, we
believe
got a
is
lot of these.
Copper State Aerial. He says, "Man, this new shock controller will knock you to the dirt if you try to break the 400 AGL rule."
Whoa! Down you go.
All right. And
That
this,
would be effective
It
legislation.
really would. Yeah.
And this is
Government in action.
this caption is actually audio from MGE, aka Sam Squatch, and this is
Okay,
his
Sam
audio
Squatch.
caption.
Oh my God, Kelly again! Would you put some pants on? Don't just lay there. Get up and put some pants on.
Oh
right.
wow! Wow.
What was that?
I'm assuming he thinks I'm naked. So like right now, Chris, are you wearing pants? Because I'm not. I mean, you know,
Shorts. I'm wearing
Oh,
shorts.
yeah, no,
So
okay.
Might as well be boxers.
Skivvies, yeah. He's assuming because you can't see my bottom half, I don't have pants on. I did have pants on because I was outside. That's my rule.
All right, this next one is from David Lorenzo. "Chris, I told you I'd have an aneurysm if I reviewed another sub $250 drone."
Wow, you know when
That's just accurate.
what, yeah,
That's all
yeah,
that is.
yeah. I don't know what aneurysm means.
It's
but
funny
I don't
because
want
it's
one.
true.
All right, this one is from Robert Highland Hippie. Who put this controller in mode 1?
Oh, so true. Mode 1.
All right.
That's where
Who
the left
flies
stick
mode
does what the
1?
right stick does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who even flies mode?
This is from Michael Belshi. I wish I were a good pilot.
Fair. Thank you, Michael.
All right, Eat More Possum says, the moment Kelly realized he should wear a helmet and face guard when flying drones.
I realized that years ago.
All right, Barry Mullen says, ouch, I got hit in the eye again from Chris flying.
The doctor oh, my eye. The doctor said I shouldn't get drones in it.
All right, a couple more. Get ready for some puns because that drone is called a SEMA drone. So here comes the first one from
Oh,
Drone
goodness.
Rob. I can't. SEMA, eyes are closed.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like that.
That isn't the direction I thought he was going to go, and I'm glad he didn't go that other direction.
All right, the next punny one is from Ian, Mr. FPV. He says, I'm sleeping. Can't you see my eyes closed?
Man, some of these guys are
Yeah.
All right.
sharp. I didn't even know the drone.
And this one is actually submitted by 3 people. They all said the same thing, and that is, "Help! I've fallen and can't get up."
Oh, wow. I
And,
need one of those buttons.
and the final one is from Kai, Lone Star UAV, and he says, "Lord help me, because Chris can't."
I can actually hear his voice saying that. Thanks, Kai. And the thing is, Kai would come over. He'd reach his hand down to pick me up, and then as I put my hand up, he'd slap it away and walk off. That's what he would do. He's a bully. Kai's a bully. Well, dude, what a fun time. We're down to our last 2 or 3 things we do on this show, and this show is actually running long, but I'm okay with that because I'm having so much fun. We're going to announce a subscriber of the month. So subscriber of the month is a subscriber who has been awesome, has been commenting, and I always appreciate. And this person is somebody I don't think has been subscriber of the month before. I've seen them around for a long time, and his name is Mike, and his screen name is Copper State Ariel. Copper State Ariel is subscriber of the month. Thank you, Mike, for tuning in and being awesome. If you can, send me an email, Kelly@ReadySetDrone, and I will then verify that it's you somehow, and I will send you a little gift prize package. Send me your shirt size too. And then
Whoa, you get a lot of good stuff.
yeah. Well, you know what I need to get you? I do have a really cool shirt that Chris, you're like a medium or a large, right? Or
I'm a large. Yeah.
Okay.
Kids have added on some weight.
I have a shirt, with. Do you know who Tex Rex is? You ever seen Tex Rex?
I know the name.
It's me.
I mean,
It's my FPV name.
Okay, I was like, I've
Tried to explain this to people. It's a dinosaur. So it's like a dinosaur with little stubby arms flying FPV. And Tex Rex, the reason I picked it is TXRX, like transmitter receiver.
Right.
And then I'm from
right.
Texas.
I like it.
And Rex means king of tech. So it's a lot going on with it. But yeah. So I have a picture of Tex Rex. Oh, there he is. Chris is going to bring it up here. Let's see. He's wearing the goggles. And he's got his little stubby arms, and he's in his lawn chair, and he's flying drones. I'm gonna send you one of those if you'll wear it.
Please do. Yeah, absolutely.
Wear it when you try the submarine under your wetsuit. When they find your body in the cold, deep, dark depths of the ocean, I want them to. I wonder what this was all about.
When the news agency comes out and they're like, "So there's a young man found with this on."
Warning: graphic things, and it's just you with X's over your eyes and the Tex Rex shirt. So, sorry, that's not really funny. I want you to be safe. I do, because I like you a lot. So the last thing.
It's funny right now.
It's funny now, but hopefully it remains funny forever because you don't die until you're 95. So we also do a thing with Chris Hope. You know Chris Hope, right? He lives out your way.
We talk fairly regularly.
One of the coolest dudes in the drone community, one of my favorite people. He puts together a video every month for me called 2 Minutes of Hope. And we do that towards the end of the show. And it attracts more viewers. People stay because they want to see 2 Minutes of Hope. So let's spend 2 minutes, just kind of relax and watch what Chris Hope put together.
Awesome.
Who the hell is that? Maverick to range control. Entering Point Alpha. Confirm green range.
Maverick, range control. Green range is confirmed. I don't see an event scheduled for you, sir.
Well, I'm going anyway.
Nice.
Setting time to target, 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
2:15, that's impossible.
File attack point. Maverick's inbound.
I see the lake down there. Looks like Chris Rollins is sunk in his submarine. We got to go in and rescue him. When I get there, below the canopy, I'll jump out and swim to the bottom. At the very least, we can rescue the Tex-Rex shirt he's wearing.
Maybe you can resell it.
And we can resell it, yes! It was worn by Chris Rollins! It's worth more!
It's got a stink on it, but
yeah, I mean, Chris Hope was pulling some serious G's.
Holy shit. I was gonna ask, is Chris was flying this, right?
Yeah.
This is really cool.
It's his footage. You know, it's funny. Yeah. The only other time I've seen that done where somebody put a movie track over FPV was somebody did the trench run in the original Star Wars. You know, and they flew through some tight gaps and it kind of worked. So
yeah.
Anyway, Chris Hope's always coming up with something original.
That was awesome. I couldn't hear, like, my audio cut out after like 15 seconds, so I don't know if it was my connection here, but I mean, the footage itself was fantastic.
It might have been a little hot. Well, that's Chris's place, I believe, and I think he's in Palestine.
Yeah, no, he's not far from me.
Yeah,
we've never been able to I don't really have free time anymore, but
yeah.
He and I talk fairly regularly.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Well, I know it's a little ways off. It's October 21st, and you're still you might be like finishing your coffin video at that point, but I do hope you can make it here for Spin Up. That's October 21st. I will remind you. I'll give you more details. I mean,
please keep reminding me.
Yeah, because it's a Saturday. It's a one-day deal. You can come up for the day, or even come up and spend the night and hang out at the evening event. That sort of thing. But I'll remind you. It's a lot of fun. It's been a year or two.
Yes, for sure. Is it going to be broadcast or is it going to be
in person?
People?
Yeah. We got.
Is it going to be in person?
Yeah. So we did. You came to the first one at the Dell Diamond. I don't think you came to the second one, right? That was the Boy Scout Center. Right.
Yes, that was when my daughter was being born.
Yep. And then the third one was live stream only. And
correct.
Then we did a fourth one 2 years ago at the same place where we're doing this fifth one. It was a great place, Cedar Park. You know where Cedar Park is, just north of Austin. It's like a suburb of Austin.
I know roughly.
Yeah. So Cedar Park, it's a center in Cedar Park. It's really a great venue for it, and I think a lot of people in the chat are coming, and a lot of the folks that you see on YouTube regularly will be there. So
Yeah.
if you get a chance to come, hey, you could come out and you could charge, $2 a ride in your stroller, and you push and they get in. see.
If I can build another motor up and have the trash can and the stroller.
Oh, wow.
If you can, how's the parking lot there?
It's flat. It's flat and big. Yeah.
Is it pretty long?
Probably not long enough for this, honestly. There is a pond, though. There is a pond, so maybe we build a ramp, and you just
straight to the pond.
Right
that's
into
it.
the pond.
Yeah, that's wow. I got some pit stains going on.
Yep. Well,
this is my shop shirt, so I was in the shop all day.
Like I said, I changed because I was as sweaty as
yours
earlier,
is...
but no, I'm feeling fresh. Fresh as the. I'm not even gonna shower. I put on a clean shirt. It's all good.
It's a bold choice.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Chris Rollins, dude, I'm so glad we got to reconnect. I'm so happy for you and your success with the trash can video. And how is that?
Thanks,
just last couple of questions. How has that impacted your channel? Like, have you been getting more notices or more people reaching out?
That video alone, it doubled the size of my channel. Obviously, that was my first video where I had a sponsor. It was just everything, just a huge blessing for everything to sort of culminate together at the same time. Yeah, it's done well. That video alone got me in magazines in the UK and everywhere.
Wow.
It's very
because you beat that
surreal.
bloke and with your dustbin. You kicked him in the dustbin.
Yeah, and the car community is just big. I never really pictured it. I was just kind of doing this thing for myself, and I just didn't think about who it would appeal to, the car community, and they really latched on and they memed the crap out of it. And I got, I got to a lot of people reach out to me, and I got offers to go to Saudi Arabia and run it up the strip in Saudi Arabia.
What?
Won't be doing that. Yeah.
I mean,
I had the CEO of a waste management company ask if I would come speak to his employees. I was like, I don't even know. I didn't even know what I would say.
Wow. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna grow a goatee. I'm gonna lose a little weight. I'm gonna lift some weights. I'm gonna try and look, and I'm gonna dress in grimier shirts, and I'm gonna try and look more like you. And when you get these offers to go to Saudi Arabia or speak in front of waste management, I'll go in your place and I'll just pretend to be you.
No, that is fine.
Yeah, is that okay?
That's fine. If you want to go to the
just give them all the big fat finger and say, I'm Chris Rollins.
Best of luck to you in the Middle East.
Yeah. I'll come back with one less finger probably.
Yeah, probably not the trash can either, because they wanted me to ship that with me.
Wow. Okay. No, what great opportunity. I mean, at the end of the day, even if you don't do those things, it's good to know that you were noticed. I know you put hours and hours and days and weeks into that. So, the hard work paid off, and hopefully you being on the show, you'll rub off on me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, main thing I realized, and the reason you and I know each other, besides you being, I think, the first YouTuber I ever collaborated with, the fact that, like, I started doing drones because I love doing drones, but at the same time, what I saw other guys like you and other guys, I was like, I just don't feel like I can keep up. Like, I don't feel like I have the financial means, first of all, but also just so many guys like you and Ken and other guys that were doing it so well. I was like, I think I just want to go. There's a lot of guys killing it in this field.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to segue into something else.
Yeah.
And when I did, I realized I wasn't getting views, but I was like, I am so happy doing this stuff that I just kept going with no views. I was like, I am just so
and now the views are starting to
stuff.
come, and
they are starting to come. It's taken 6 years.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend completely changing with the content you make on your channel. Just start a new channel.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confused people that were like, what is this?
But your channel is just your name, right? So
it's just Chris Rollins.
So there's no expectations from the name of it. Like if I started to do, like, let's say, crocheting, on Ready Set Drone. People
It'd be very confusing.
People are going to be like, I could crochet little koozies or cozies for like the drone's feet or something. But
yeah,
it
well, the
wouldn't really
confusing part, more so for my channel, was the algorithm had no idea. My channel was doing decent.
Yeah.
I think I got to about 10,000 subscribers before I segued into other stuff.
And it's probably
And I wouldn't
better you
even call
did
it
it
a
sooner.
segue.
You did it sooner rather
Right.
than, not when you got 100,000,
Well, right. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, right now, 10,000 subscribers feels like just so many people. It's more people than I know.
Yeah.
But, my friend that I was talking to had 1 million subscribers, and he was like, but it's perspective. He was like, because 10,000 subscribers, I could make or lose in a day. I was like, okay. Well, yeah. You're hard to like sometimes. But it was perspective of like, okay, instead of starting from scratch, go ahead and just make what you want to make, and hopefully they'll go with you. If not, hopefully a new audience.
You just know that you're going to have to take a step backwards or 2 steps backwards in order to take that 10 steps forward.
Right.
But if you don't enjoy what you're doing anymore, and honestly, if it weren't for FPV, I feel like I would be not done with drones, because I still love using them and I still love flying them. But I don't go. I used to go out and fly like the Phantom 4 or the Phantom 3 or the Mavic, the original Mavic. I just went out and flew those for fun, because it was like, I'm going to go fly my drone. It was still really novel. Now that they've become so automated and so commonplace, that's where FPV has been a lot of fun. I had an experience. I'll tell a quick story. I went a week ago to fly some FPV at this abandoned place, the only abandoned place I know of in Austin. Like, there's only one. And I took a little FPV quad, and there were some kids skateboarding in this place. And I just was kind of flying on one side. I said, hey, I'm going to fly over here if it's all right with you guys. I'll stay away from you. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, boomer. And so I went over to the other side, flew around a little bit, and then the kids were kind of like looking at me, and I was like, hey, do you mind if I chase you a little bit? And then by the end, I'm getting these kids doing these crazy shots in 60 frames a second, with the drones going under them. And that was like, I was like, I love doing this. This is so much fun,
Yeah. And I think, honestly, the first video you and I did together,
we were flying FPV.
We were trying FPV, and it was fairly new.
It was
new
very
to both of us,
glitchy
really.
and really kind of hard to see. And we were, and
you or I were really sort of like, I'm not really entirely sure how to set it up.
Right. But you were actually a pretty good pilot. I remember watching you fly and being like, wow, I had
been doing it for a couple months before at that time.
Yeah.
And because that Ken Heron came, that was when I met Ken.
Yep.
And he put on the goggles while I was flying, and we did a little bit of.
He had never flown FPV
He had never
before.
Right, and we did that. But I don't think that drone was set up. I don't remember what it was. Someone had sent that to you.
Yep.
And we did that.
Like a Walkera something or another.
But
that
at the
was
time,
even still. It couldn't go more than like 50 yards away, and you lost the signal.
Yeah. Well, but it was cool even then to see like everybody getting into drones when they became accessible, and then when FPV came around, it was, for me in particular, it was like, oh, that's kind of intimidating, because that's different, and it was definitely, you realized how much flying you really weren't doing with the DJI stuff.
Right.
It's doing it for you.
It's like when you get in a stick shift and you have to shift, and you're like,
oh gosh.
Yeah, what's this?
I thought I was good. Yeah, and and you're doing your DJI stuff, and you're flying, and you're like, oh, what's that? And the drone just sits there, and then I've had a DJI since the Phantom 1, which was a colossal.
Yeah, I had the Phantom 1 as well.
The thing's a big. That was a.
I remember the Phantom 1 with a friend of mine. I went to the park and I was showing it to him, and I was like, this thing is so stable. You can walk up and push I was pushing the landing gear to show it kind of like fight, and try to stay steady. And so I walked up and I kind of pushed it, and I was like, go ahead, push it. And he goes like this, and he slaps it and goes, hit the ground. And I was like, no, I didn't mean slap it. I said slap it, but I didn't mean slap it. Wait, Chris Waters, will you roll that back one more time? Did you see this? This is the footage I was talking about here. So this was just a couple of days ago, actually. And this.
Oh, this is you? I was watching it. I didn't know this was
me. That's me skateboarding. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, that? You are good.
I really
and young.
Yeah. Oh, I can take a fall.
What are you flying?
I was flying a little Cinewhoop with the air unit in it.
Yeah.
So you know the air unit's got a
It's fast.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, and it's got stabilization in it, and so this was just kind of a fun little thing. This, like I said, is the only abandoned place that I know of to fly in Austin, and it's great because they have this little skate thing going on in there. We were there one time. I was sitting on a crate. You see, there's kind of these little crates around.
Where are you?
I was sitting on a crate. It's off of 183.
No, where are you? Oh, there you are. I saw you. I was
over on the left. But I was sitting on this crate, and we were flying. It was me and Chris Waters and Scott, 1T FPV, and just having a good time. And then all of a sudden, there's a homeless guy in the crate asleep, and he's like, and he gets up, and we're like, oh, hey. I ended up, he was cool. He was very, what are you guys doing? I ended up buying him a hamburger, and he hung out with us for the afternoon, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be careful probably when you choose to go out there.
Yeah, you don't want to be alone. That's why we say don't fly alone, right? You need your spotter.
Yeah.
That's why I bring Kai with me. You know, Kai's like 7 feet tall, right? He's a German, and he's a very big dude.
Okay. I don't know him.
You'll meet him if you come to Spin Up. He's a great guy, actually. But well, hey Chris, thank you again. I'm wondering which video do you have queued up? Okay, I think Chris Rollins is in that one. We're gonna go out with the old classic, the Ready Set Drone song. You remember that one?
Yeah.
All right. This actually has you, me, Ken Heron, Philip, and Tate on the football field dancing with our drones in it. So you'll want to.
What year was this? What year did you make that video?
2018, 2019, something like that. So about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Well, hey man, virtual high five. Other way. There you go. Boom.
Nice.
I'm gonna reach in and
I'm not very good at this.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3.
I'm on the lag.
Go. You are on a lag.
Dang it.
You're like max headroom in there. All right, hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thanks again to Chris Rollins for taking the time out.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
When you get that submarine ready, let me know. I'll be there. Later.
You got it. All right, see you guys.
When I fly, I won't fly alone. I'm gonna fly with Ready Set Drone. This Ready Set Drone will always fly with me. Flying fast and flying free. Flying with friends is the life for me. This Ready Set Drone is my community. Goggles and rotors and FPV, props and motors and ESCs, gimbals and cameras are what we used to fly. Sharing stories and swapping tales, amazing triumphs and epic fails. But will you know if you don't ever try? Ready, set, drone, spin up your props and plug in your phone. Fly with us and we think you'll agree. Ready, set, drone, what's the point of flying it alone? Flying with friends will make you feel so free. Ready, set, drone. This Ready, set, drone will always fly with me. Flying fast and flying free. Flying with friends is the life for me. This Ready, set, drone is my community. Ready, set, drone. Spin up your props and plug in your phone. Fly with us and we think you'll agree. Ready, set, drone, what's the point of flying alone? Flying with friends will make you feel so free. Flying with friends will make you feel so free. Flying with friends will make you feel so free.